Hey there, gang, and welcome to the Locker Room. Coach Gigs here, and today's message: you can't afford the luxury of a negative attitude. You know, I know that's a long title, but I want you to think about that. We can't afford the luxury, meaning too often it just feels comfortable and easy to have a more negative attitude towards people, a situation, life, what's going on in the world. Man, it's hard being positive. It really is, I'm sure. That's one of the reasons I stopped watching the news many, many years ago. And I noticed the other day when I watched the news, I was getting a little bit anxious because it was nothing but, you and I know it, bad news, because that's what sells. Bad news sells. Folks, we can't afford the luxury of a negative attitude. It's unfortunate that our society is programmed that way, you and me. And so you have to proactively decide that you're not going to be negative, that you're going to see the glass half full, that you're going to see opportunities when others don't, that you're going to see solutions to problems. You know, my daughter is in law school right now, and she's in her second year, and she's in that area where she's taking a lot of finals. Well, as you can imagine, a lot of stress. I mean, she's up till late hours of the night. She's almost going 24/7 as she prepares to take these final exams. And she's very, very hard on herself. And so every time she goes and she takes an exam, you know, she says to, I said, how did you do? She goes, I don't think I did so good. And the reason is because she's hard on herself. And the good news is, on the other side of it, she's actually doing a lot better than she often thinks she is. But again, I can see that it impacts her. And why does this happen? Because that's the world that we live in. And if we're not careful, the world is going to get on you and in you, and you can't afford the luxury of a negative attitude. It affects you and me. Having a negative mindset isn't good. If I go into a sales presentation expecting people to say no, very negative, chances are they're going to say no. But if I go in there knowing that I have a solution to a problem that either they know or they don't know, and that I'm going to help them with this solution no matter what, then I'm going to move forward and not be negative, because I can't afford it. Nor can my customers, nor can those that I work with. If I don't have a strong vision in my business, how can I expect others that are with me to have a vision? It starts with you and me at the top. We have to have better expectations. We can't afford the luxury of being negative. Now, is this logical? Of course it is. We all know this. It's true. We know it's true. So why don't we do it? Because a majority of the world, like it or not, is negative. That's just the way it is. So I'm just going to keep smiling, laughing, singing, dancing, expecting great things to happen in my life. And that's the world that I want to create for me. Some may say, well, that's not realistic. No, I'm sorry, it is realistic, because that's the world that I want to create and that I have created. I made some really good quality choices when I decided I don't want to watch the news all the time. Some people say, well, you got to keep up on the news. Why? So I can get depressed and anxious? I know the major big indicators that are going on out there. But the truth is, if you think about it, you really don't need to hear all of that negative news unless you think you do. I mean, what is it doing for you? Is it helping you in your work? Is it helping you in some way, shape, or form? All it's doing is feeding that negative subconscious mind, which is now feeding from the day before, and it becomes habit. Like I said, you can't afford the luxury of a negative mindset. That's all I got today, gang. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in tomorrow's broadcast. Have an awesome day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.